supposed to feel like. I believe that's something he brought to the table. That's a real asset.
This is it, folks. Cinch your belts up, because when they wave the green flag this time by, we will race up to 2 laps to determine the winner.
Mark Martin right now truly is an army of one.
These teams, this is the 2 laps these guys have been working for all winter long and for months even before the 2006 season ended.
When the green flag waves, the race is on. If the caution waves, it's over. If they complete the 2 laps, it's over. Martin, Busch, Biffle, Gilliland, Sadler, green flag.
I don't believe he can wait very long, Larry. I believe if you're going to make the move, you got to make it quick. I don't think he can wait too long. If they're going to get him, they need to jump to the outside right away.
Watch your bottom there.
You know he's not going to give up the bottom, so you got to go to the outside.
Still.
And look at the outside line. Jeff Gordon in that 24 car with his teammate Casey Mears, but Casey leaves him out there.
Now, 1 back. All single file behind you. He's coming hard, about half back now.
Now, when these guys on the outside, when they get side by side with these other cars, they're done. We're coming to the white flag.
It's up to the 5 of Kyle Busch. How long can he wait if he's going to go?
Still single file.
White flag, 1 lap to go.
Coming to the white, man. Coming to the white. Single file behind you. 5,
Front
16,
4,
38.
single file.
Here they go. They got to go. They got to get Mark. They got to move him somehow.
He gets back to that yellow line right around the bottom, all the way through turn 1 and 2.
Mark Martin is driving the race of his life, and there's nobody that's better at holding people off at Daytona.
Kyle Busch lagged back a little bit. Is he going to get help? Is he going to come? He's
Still
looking.
back behind you.
He almost squeezed Harvick into the wall, and here comes Harvick, the 29, with Matt Kenseth.
Oh, Mark got loose. Mark got loose.
And Harvick's getting a run off turn 4. It's going to be a drag race all the way back to the start-finish line. No caution. They're side by side, right to the line.
Big crash. Here they come. Checkered flag. Harvick. Kevin Harvick wins the Daytona 500.
We got 1 car on his roof coming across the start-finish line.
They're still wrecking. They're wrecking everywhere. Boyer's on fire. Jeff Gordon's wrecked.
And they are still wrecking.
Montoya, Stremme, Kenseth, Biffle, Marlin, Carl Edwards, Casey Mears all crashed on the final lap. Have you ever?
Well, a couple of times.
I'm going to repeat what I heard a few years ago. No, I have never.
I got so excited I broke the damn mirror in half.
Jeff Gordon's day ends about like his teammates.
Clint Bowyer came across the start-finish line on his roof.
I've seen fire and I've seen rain.
David Stremme's climbed out. He is okay. Sterling Marlin, who slid across to a stop.
Well, Larry, let's see. Are they going to run these cars anymore?
They were intending on it, but I don't think many of them will.
It may be a good time to bring the old car tomorrow out.
What was the margin of victory for Kevin Harvick? Unofficially 2/100ths of a second.
I thought Mark had him. I thought he was going to hold him.
And Mark Martin, a bridesmaid once again.
He's got to be thrilled, though. What a finish.
Bakersfield, California's Kevin Harvick, who took over the seat in what became the 29 after the death of Dale Earnhardt, stormed up the outside. Kyle Busch couldn't hold him off. He had a full head of steam into turn 3.
There was no question you were going to have to go the outside. Mark was not going to give up the inside. What happens back here is Kyle Busch gets on the apron ever so slightly, gets into the 17, and it's on from there. Look at the 38 car up on top of somebody. There's a car turning over.
And look at this finish.
And it's a drag race to the line, and we've seen Harvick do that before.
Yes, we have. You could see Harvick trying to pinch him down to keep that momentum on him.
A little side draft. Get a little side draft and try to pull ahead.
Now, unofficially, Jeff Burton will finish 3rd. Mike Wallace will finish 4th. And the top finishing Roush car, rookie David Reagan in the 6th.
Unbelievable. Kevin Harvick was doing donuts in the grass, and he may have toasted the number 29.
I think he broke another transmission.
Congratulations to Chevy driver Kevin Harvick, winner of the Daytona 500 from Chevy, an American Revolution.
What a weekend he's had. Busch race yesterday.
And Mark Martin having a tremendous Daytona 500.
We were ahead, man. I was waiting for them to throw the yellow.
I agree, Mark. I thought maybe they would throw the yellow before they got here, but they didn't.
Third place, Jeff Burton congratulates Harvick. And where's the other RCR car? Watch the 07. It'll come in here from the right in the bottom lane. Clint Boyer gets slid sideways. Whammo.
And he'll cross the start-finish line unofficially upside down in the 18th position.
On fire. I mean, that's Joey Chitwood couldn't do that.
Boyer making a hasty exit through a small window opening. That's one of the things that's going to be addressed by the car of tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm just glad he's landed back on his wheels with that fire, because he didn't want to be trapped down in there. NASCAR does such a great job. Goodness. It's terrifying.
Sterling Marlin, the 14 car, was spinning down pit road, actually hit the pit wall.
Until now, 1976 and 79 were the wildest Daytona 500 finishes ever. New one for the record books. Matt is with Mark Martin.
And he's climbed from the car. You can see the disappointment on he and his crew members' faces. Mark, first off, take us on that last lap. It looked like basically you had the 5 covered, and then out of nowhere comes the 29.
Well, we saw him up there, and we just doing everything we could. You know, it was a Daytona 500, man. I just want to thank Bobby Ginn and everybody at Ginn Racing, and especially the U.S. Army team. I'm so proud to be a part of this team. They gave me a chance at a Daytona 500. That's all I ever asked. I really hate I let them down. I gave it what I could, but I didn't get it done. I really thought they were going to throw the caution. I was still ahead, and they were wrecking behind, and if they would have just thrown the yellow, it was in our fingers, but they waited and they waited and they waited, and I didn't have any pusher at the end, you know, and he was in the, you know, in the preferred spot for second back forward. But just want to thank everybody for all their support. I wanted to win that thing. They were going to have to pry it out of my fingers, man. And I was looking back to see if we had any help, but I didn't see any back there, and it's just short.
You always try to compartmentalize everything, but did you let yourself begin to think maybe this is the year, looking at the situation?
Hey, this is green-white checkered in the Daytona 500. I knew we had, I knew the race was on, and man, we got so far down the line. I saw him get that run. I tried to block it, and then I got back down, and, you know, minus the wreck and everybody coming through there good with a good pusher, we still had it done. I really still thought, you know, as we entered turn 3, that we were going to get it done, and then they started wrecking, and we were still ahead of him. But, you know, just wasn't meant to be. I didn't get the job done.
Mark Martin finishes second in the Daytona 500.
But boy, he did a whale of a job. You see Kevin Harvick's car sitting in Gatorade Victory Lane. He took the checker under green to decide the winner of the race. The caution immediately followed, so officially the race ends under caution. So now let's go down to Dick Berggren with the GM winning interview.
And Kevin Harvick on his way out. Confetti. Son of, oh man, what a mess down here. Hey Kevin, where did you get that head of steam at the end of the race to win the Daytona 500?
Well, I had Jeff Burton behind Matt Kenseth, and Kenseth just pushed the hell out of me there. This Shell Pennzoil Chevrolet got a little hot. We had to come in and take some tape off. We had a hole in the nose, and man, my go-kart experience over the winter paid off because I didn't let off the floor, and we just kept hitting things in the wall and just bouncing off everything. But man, this is a Daytona 500. Can you believe it? That was just do
you believe it?
I can't believe it. I mean, we were 30-something there with 15 laps to go, and we came up through there. But just got to thank Richard and Todd Barrett and all these guys just for an awesome race car.
Congratulations to you. Well done, Mike.
Protege of Rick Corelli, the Bakersfield, California racer. Wife Delana embracing him. Today, the Daytona 500 has changed the life of Kevin Harvick forever.
Dadgum, it makes me, you know, Daytona puts tears in the eyes. I don't care whether you're down there or up here. It's what an accomplishment.
They are crying in celebration, and others will be crying in frustration. Let's have a look at what happened here on the final lap.
Look where Harvick is, coming down the back.
But look at this run he got. He called it, Matt Kenseth, in that 17 car. You see Kyle Busch tried to go up and block, but he had such a head of steam it was too late.
Yeah, I think all that moving around is probably what got Kyle. It messed his entry up into turn 3, and then I think it might have just upset his car a little bit, and he gets loose right there under Kenseth 17 car, and it's on from there.
And at the wire, Harvick, because of that push down the backstretch, got out front of Mark Martin. Mark comes back and comes oh so close.
But you know what? I'm glad NASCAR let them finish the race.
Yes,
there's
definitely
no reason that the cars are wrecking behind them, not in front of them.
It was not going to change a thing.
Not a thing.
For the 4th time, the winner of the Busch race on Saturday wins the Daytona 500. Dale Jr. 2004, Darrell Waltrip in '89, Bobby Allison in 1988, won Saturday and Sunday. Krista?
Well, Jeff Burton finishes 3rd, but I got to ask, you had your current teammate racing your former teammate. I know a lot of loyalties, a lot of emotions for you. A great day for you. What about the 1-2 finish for Kevin and Mark?
Well, I had a great seat for it. I came off turn 4 and it got really wild. And the last 40 laps were just crazy, insane. And I'm a huge Mark Martin fan, one of the best people in our sport. I hated to see him lose. I'm a huge Kevin Harvick fan and an RCR fan, obviously, and love to see him win. So mixed emotions there. Mark Martin's a deserving champion. He's one of the greatest drivers our sport's ever seen and one of the greatest people our sport's ever seen. Kevin's a hard-nosed driver and one of the greatest people too. So they both deserve it, and I'm glad we came out on top. It's big for RCR. It's big for us to finish 3rd. We were in about 5 wrecks and never hit anything hard enough to knock us out, and we just kept digging.
The competition is what makes the sport and this race, Mike Joy, so exciting.
Thank you, Krista. Kevin Harvick is the 31st driver to win the Daytona 500 as Chevrolet sweeps the first 4 finishing positions. David Reagan, the first Ford, is 5th. Elliott Sadler, the first Dodge, is 6th. More from Daytona after this.
An amazing finish in the 2007 Daytona 500. Watch the 29 car. Kevin Harvick shooting to the front past the veteran Mark Martin in a photo finish, 2/100ths of a second. Harvick winning his first Daytona 500. He appeared on photo finish on the NASCAR on Fox pre-race show. Everybody okay in the wreck behind. A crazy go-nuts finish in the Daytona 500. Harvick, remember, a little bit eerie, took over the ride for Dale Earnhardt, who on this date back in 2001, we lost him here at Daytona. So Harvick coming back to win for Richard Childress Racing. Last time Richard Childress Racing won the Daytona 500 was with Dale Earnhardt in 1998. And these are the unofficial results here in the top 10. You see Mark Martin at a Chevrolet finishing 2nd. And the remaining group, Toyota, Dale Jarrett at 23rd, the highest finishing Toyota. The rookie Juan Pablo Montoya transferring over from F1, winding up 19th and avoiding numerous wrecks in the closing moments. Again, these the unofficial results. 5 drivers without their regular crew chiefs. Elliott Sadler finishing 6th, and Tony Stewart with Kurt Busch, 2 of the stronger cars, involved in a wreck just a little bit earlier as Happy Harvick celebrates. And what a story for him. First restrictor plate victory in his Cup career with Jeff Hammond, Chris Myers, and thanks for being with us for NASCAR on Fox. And was it the right call, NASCAR not throwing the caution? You heard Mark Martin's words. You saw the great finish.
I saw the great finish, Chris, and the thing is right now, we started this Speed Weeks off with controversy, and I'm sure we're going to end this Speed Weeks with somebody saying, well, why didn't they throw the caution? Mark had it. We don't know until you go back and really check everything over. It was NASCAR's decision, but it was a fantastic finish no matter how you cut it.
Early on, you tipped us off. Jeff Burton, who was last year's pole sitter with Richard Childress Racing, about those 2 cars. Harvick was 7th when we had the restart with the 2 laps to go. And really, it's the Daytona 505 because we had to go overtime, as Mike Joy pointed out, because of the green-white checker. So how was Harvick able to maintain that position and make it up at the last moment?
I think everybody was so concentrating on the bottom of the racetrack, trying to protect the bottom. They left the outside wide open. He was able to get a push where he needed it. And basically, correctly. He threw caution to the wind. We kept talking about it all day long. When you get down to the end of this race, there's no friends out there, and you're not going to win it unless you take a chance. He took the chance. He was able to thread the needle, and in the end, he was able to come off with one whale of a victory.
Talk about the bottom of the racetrack. Kevin Harvick got top of the world, and on top of his car, at least his car flipping over on top, was Clint Boyer in the 07 in flames at the back half of that finish, and he's standing by with our Steve Burns.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. As Kevin Harvick celebrates, Clint Boyer's car is an absolute mess. What happened coming off turn 4, Clint?
Man, I tell you, I saw the 5 get turned sideways, and I thought I cleared him. Thought I was out of the deal, and he got out of an unscathed, and somebody just clipped us in the right rear, and away she went. But it's just unfortunate. I made a mistake there coming on the pit road, and it cost us a lap there, and we got it back, and the guys never gave up. Had good pit stops and everything we needed. I really thought we ended up better in 18th. Need to look into that a little bit, because I really thought we ended up a little better than that. If we're going to end up on our lid, we better end up better than that, huh?
All right, we'll see you in California. Thanks, Clint. Mike?
Thanks, Steve. The favorite, Tony Stewart, got taken out of the race in a crash that looked eerily similar to the one that claimed Dale Earnhardt in 2001. And out with him went the driver who led the most laps, Kurt Busch. Kevin Harvick led only 4 laps today. Boy, he led the right one.
Boy, he did, and I think NASCAR made the right call. And Mark said it best. This is the Daytona 500. Everything's happening behind them guys. Throwing a caution wasn't going to make any difference. Let them race to the line. I feel sorry for Mark. I like seeing him win, but pretty happy for a happy Harvick, too.
Larry, you can prepare and work on that car all day long. The best you can do, Richard Petty often said, put yourself in a position to win. Circumstances will dictate the outcome.
And it did, Mike. And, I was so impressed with these guys. For the first 150-something laps, we had 3 cautions, and it really was not a big wreck. One was even a debris caution. But the sun went down, the moon came up. The crew chiefs of spotters said, boys, 25 laps to go in the Daytona 500. So definitely those next 3 cautions made a huge difference in the outcome of this race.
This finish, Ricky Bobby. The Daytona Nights couldn't have been any better.
I watched that last night to prepare for tonight. One other thing, the full moon. There's an old superstition in racing that on a full moon night, wild things happen, and they sure did tonight. Chris?
Only Darrell could sum it up referencing Ricky Bobby. Everybody take a deep breath. It was a great finish. What are we going to see next week? Next Sunday, NASCAR and Fox heading to California. Matt Kenseth took home the checkered flag. Remember, engine troubles kept Tony Stewart and Greg Biffle from winning that race. So tune in to find out. The Auto Club 500 presented by Q next Sunday. That's at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, in high definition right here on Fox. And if we come back into our studio, the Harley J. Earl Trophy, named after the automobile designer that you just saw Kevin Harvick holding. This one next year will be the 50th running of the Daytona 500. Jeff Hammond, of course, NASCAR on Fox. The next 7 Daytona 500s will be right here.
I think I'm going to take this home and just kind of keep it with me till next year.
No, we have secure anything gold you can't hold on to. Jeff, as we look ahead to next week, the Daytona 500 is one thing. We got to think about the chase for the championship. Races are so much more important now because of victories, the points that are awarded to the winning drivers.
And right now, Kevin Harvick gets the benefit of those bonus points already, and it looks like RCR Racing is coming out and trying to reestablish themselves one more time as being a contender for the championship early on.
Jack Roush, Roush Fenway Racing, the curse continues for him. More than 60 entries in his career at the Daytona 500, no victory. His former driver, Mark Martin, his best finish ever here.
Came close, very close. And we were sentimental favorite, but right now, hey, this one's in the books. It's time to go to California.
For Jeff Hammond, Chris Myers, thanks for watching NASCAR on Fox and the Daytona 500. We'll see you next week from California.